Art's out of Pennsylvania, and he says that consciousness is the basis of everything. Art, you got Sofia Spina, you got Johnny P., and we want to know more about this thought that you have. Please explain.
Great. Thank you. I can shred the objective moral value argument in about 10 seconds if you want to hear that, or I can go straight to the topic I called about. Your choice.
Let's go to the topic that you called about first, even though I love that you're calling him being like, that guy, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, sounds good. What I'm saying is, and this is an argument I've heard, I've turned it over in my mind, I don't see a problem with it. Maybe there is. Maybe you guys will tell me one. What I experience are sensations in consciousness. I experience 5 kind of physical sensations: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. I experience emotions. I experience thoughts. Now, that is the sum total of what I experience. And the idea of matter is a theoretical construct. It's something that explains my sensations. If I see a cup, like the idea of a cup tells me that if it's rotated, what I should see. It tells me that if I hit it, I should hear something, that if I grasp it, it should feel a certain way. So the idea unifies my sensations. But all I really know exists are the sensations, because any sensation I could have in a very vivid dream. So I could dream there's a cup there. I'd have the exact same sensations if I were dreaming vividly, but there would be no cup. And this is an old idea. In philosophy, you've got the brain and the vat. You've got Descartes' evil demon. I'm sorry. Did we...
Sorry. Yeah. Was it Bishop Berkeley? Yeah.
Now, Bishop Berkeley went further and said there is no matter. I'm not saying that. I'm saying all we know, all you experience is sensation. And the sensations are changing. They're temporary. So if you believe you have an enduring identity, it can only be your consciousness, because that's the only candidate that I could see. In other words, in this view, your consciousness is kind of like the light that shines on your thoughts and your emotions and your senses. And that consciousness has been there since you were 5 years old. It's the same consciousness in this view. But your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations are changing every second. Therefore, in this view, consciousness is primary. Consciousness and the sensations in it are all that we know with a capital K-N-O-W.
Individually.
Now, the idea that... Now, the idea that matter probably exists, and is certainly a good explanation for how to deal with the world. I've got no problem with that. But if we want to get down to what we actually know, it is our consciousness. Yeah. And so that is... Okay, that's basically it.
Okay.
I like that. I think the only thing...
By the way...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, and just one more thing. People, I think that the idea of an eternal soul going on to heaven, forget about that. But I think that some people in the religious writings I've read use soul to mean our identity. And I think you can credibly claim that when some religious people use the word soul, they mean consciousness. But maybe they don't. That's another story. But since I just thought I'd throw that.
Well, the ancients had other concepts of soul, like the potential for intellect, or the potential for, I guess some sort of, like the nous, the concept of the nous in ancient times.
I think, sorry, were you going to?
Please go ahead.
When I think about that concept of soul as identity, it was something when I was a very religious person, I was always stricken by the fact that we talk about our soul as being this fundamental part of our essence, like you're talking about identity. And then if there's a traumatic brain injury and your personality fundamentally changes, it's like, what happens to your soul? Did your soul change? And that was always really confusing to me, because there was supposed to be this big metaphysical answer for why we were the person that we were, but then that could change because of our brain chemistry. So I really like your thought about consciousness here, partially because consciousness can be easily tricked. It can be changed. The only thing I disagree with you there about is that you mentioned consciousness since about 5 years old. I would argue even if we can't remember everything that happened before that, a lot of our consciousness and what we're able to, how we discern things is formed before that, which is me being totally pedantic, but that's the only thing I would throw out there.
Well, respond to that, and I have an observation of my own.
Still got you there, Art?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Please. What was your response to that? I guess we lost Art.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe we didn't.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry about
we
that,
hear
Art.
you again.
It's like some technical issue. Please.
Okay. What I was saying was, I didn't mean that 5 years old was anyway special. What I meant was, if you believe you're the same person that you were at 5, well, I mean, your personalities change, your bodies change, but if you believe that there's something has persisted from that age till now, I'm saying it can't be consciousness, but if you want to say it's consciousness was there earlier, fine, that 5 was arbitrary.
Yeah, like I said, I'm being kind of pedantic about it.
And this is my observation then to that would be that the consciousness, the thinking thing that I am now is not the thinking thing I was 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago, and certainly not when I was 5. That there's parts that have been added and there's been parts that have fallen away, lost in time, like tears and rain. But there is a general consistency, a kind of a shadow of memories of the past that continues in large part. And so arguably the very idea of a conscious entity or a consciousness is a thing in flux throughout time. So, but I think where we might disagree, Art, is that we have no evidence of a consciousness without that conscious entity being paired with matter. Do you believe that there are conscious entities that do not have that consciousness tied inexorably with physical matter?
Well, I'm saying that matter is a theory. It's an idea. It's a theoretical construct.
Sure.
It may exist or it may not. But we do not directly experience matter. We only directly experience sensation.
Okay. Well, then
I do not have a sense for sensing trees or cups.
Sure. But and I think that's probably true. Where everything is filtered through the senses. Every single thing that I experience is coming in through sense organs and being processed by the squirrel cage that's in my head, and then it's reconstructed in what appears to me to be a three-dimensional simulation or whatever you want to say. I don't know. Three-dimensional representation of what's out there. Now, is that talk heathen mug, is the flying spaghetti monster, is it exactly that color white? Well, that doesn't make any sense. It only looks like that because my senses, my rods and cones, and my brain do all its magic to make it appear that way. And of course, they don't look the same to me as they do to Sofia because I'm colorblind and some things look differently. But nevertheless, even with that being the case, wouldn't you also agree that even through that filter of the senses and the brain processing it all, we never encounter the simulation or whatever it is consistent enough to say that we never through the senses experience other conscious beings or other conscious things without them being tied to a body of some kind. And when that body is destroyed every single time, the consciousness or the whatever is coming out of that consciousness through their organs and sound and voice into ours, it's gone, right?
You don't know that.
I don't know that. Right.
No. What I'm saying is, if you see someone pass away, you assume their consciousness has dissolved. But
we don't think that consciousness is the consciousness is not separate from the body, in the sense that your consciousness is created by electrical impulses and chemicals in your brain. I would say we use the term consciousness to refer to our experience of what we are, our experience of our unique identity. But it's not some other, it still is matter. It's not some other spiritual thing. And I think probably both of our opinion. So I think that's what we're trying to clarify.
Well, maybe this would help. Imagine you're a security guard. You go in a building, you go up an elevator, and you see monitors. You see a monitor of the loading dock, a stairwell, whatever. All you see are the monitors. The monitors in this analogy represent the sensations. You assume that the loading dock and the stairwell exist, but you never get to go there. All you have are the monitors.
Okay.
So if you assume that matter exists, then you can, but I don't.
No, I get it. think
You get that?
I think I understand what you're saying, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to say so what. That's not what I'm going to say. But that's what I'm thinking. But what I really mean to say is all that might be well and fine, that I can't prove that I'm not a brain in a vat, to use that tired phrase that's very applicable.
Right.
Fizzling with chemicals and being, I don't know, impugned upon by cosmic entities, the elder gods, whatever it might be, okay?
Elder gods.
But what I can say is that this whatever it is that I'm perceiving seems to have pretty consistent rules. And if we want to say, I'm going to say simulation, within the simulation, all right, if you want to say it that way, certain entities seem to prefer certain kinds of behaviors. This entity seems to prefer certain kinds of stimulus. Whether or not the world actually exists or not, within the simulation that we're all playing along with, right, there are some constants. And we non-believers, consciousnesses, or at least me in the Sophia that I've generated.
The essence of Sophia.
The essence of
that
Sophia.
you're experiencing right now.
We want a world that is based upon, I'm speaking for myself perhaps, I think this time, where human beings are given dignity, have equal chance to thrive and survive and flourish and pursue their own dreams and not be oppressed by other entities who have, dare I say, superstitious notions about the universe and tell other people how they should live their lives and what kind of people they can be, except insofar as those people can't kill. Their right to swing their fist ends at the nose. So it's one of these things where, like, cool, but we're rooted in the real world, or at least what appears to be the real world.
The real world as we experience it is the only thing we can react to.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Okay.
I think you're right. We're unable to step outside in any way.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you agree that whatever it is that we're experiencing, it does a really good job of being consistent between other individuals, if there are in fact individuals out there at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think.
Can you give me 10 seconds for objective moral values before I go?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. If a good God exists, and if objective moral values exist, why the hell doesn't he tell us what they are? We burned women for witchcraft for 5 centuries and then figured out subjectively on our own that's not a good thing. We had slaves for a few centuries and then subjectively figured out that's not a good thing. If there's a good God and there's objective moral values, why the hell don't we know if stem cell research is moral? If I could probably name 50 different things.
Yeah, you could.
So that's my answer. And I have one more thing to say. Live long and prosper.
Yeah. Peace and long life, Art. Thank you so much for calling.